Award-winning young adult author and Indianapolis native John Green inspired high schoolers in Indianapolis and Cologne, Germany, during a special Skype presentation at Central Library on September 14th. Green discussed his evolution as a writer and the impact of fellow Hoosier author Kurt Vonnegut Jr.
The best thing that's going to come out of this talk for many of you is that you're going to learn the name Kurt Vonnegut and go home and read his books, and they're way better than mine, and you'll be very happy that this has happened in your life. But Kurt Vonnegut was a writer. He was born in Indianapolis. He went to Shortridge High School. He often said that his home was Indianapolis when he was 9 years old, and he had a mother and a sister, and he can never go back there. His mother later committed suicide. His sister died tragically in an accident. He adopted her children. He was an extraordinary writer. Probably his best known book, which is also his best book, is Slaughterhouse-Five, a novel about World War II, but also a novel about just how, in general, being a person means being a little bit dislocated, being a little bit unstuck in time. He was also considered a very funny writer, and if you read him, particularly in high school, you will probably find him to be very funny. Although I recently reread Slaughterhouse-Five and a bunch of Vonnegut's other novels, and I found them to be immensely sad and not at all funny. So I don't know what's happened in the intervening years, because the books haven't changed, but they've become horrifically sad. That's going to be useful background, because at no point am I going to talk about my own work in the next 30 minutes until I answer all of your really wonderful questions. By the way, thanks to all the people in Cologne for your questions, and everyone here as well. The questions are also more interesting than my talk, but I'm going to read it anyway because I wrote it. I want to begin by saying hello to Indianapolis' sister city, Cologne, and thank them for being here, and also thank the people of Germany for welcoming so many refugees of the Syrian civil war and for leading Europe away from its xenophobia and toward its humanism. There is only one way forward for our species. The only way forward for our species is together, and Germany has been the world's great leader in that over the last several months, especially in the developed world. It is true that there are more refugees currently living in Ethiopia and in Kenya than there are in the United States and Germany combined. But the work that Germany is doing, the humanism that it is showing, the leadership that it is showing in Europe means so much to us and so much to the world.
Following his talk, Green was honored with the library's prestigious Kurt Vonnegut Award, presented to a national author whose writing has transformed contemporary writing and reading. Green's presentation continued the sister city relationship between Indianapolis and Cologne, Germany, that has involved a library staff exchange and cultural programming.
I think it's the topics that he's writing, for the young people. And then we see that our young folks on both sides of the Atlantic are very similar. So they're not different to each other. And this is a great way to show you, too, that we are all very close together.
You can view John Green's entire presentation to students by visiting the library's website at ndpl.org.